Welcome to Scary Hours Productions. Tonight's story is about a birthday I'll never forget for all the wrong reasons. It was my birthday, a quiet Tuesday night. No big plans, no wild parties. I was content with the silence, just me and the hum of the road as I drove home from work. The city lights blurred into a comforting smear, and I was looking forward to nothing more than my couch and a mindless movie. I pulled into my driveway, the engine cutting out and plunging me into the familiar quiet of my neighborhood. I grabbed my bag, stepped out, and started towards my front door, keys jangling in my hand. That's when my phone buzzed. It was just after midnight, a new message from an unknown number. All it said was, "Come outside, I got you something." I paused, hand on my doorknob. My first thought was that it was one of my friends, maybe pulling a surprise birthday prank. I smiled to myself, a little annoyed but also intrigued. Who would be out this late? I scanned the street. Nothing, just the usual parked cars and the lonely glow of a single streetlight down the block. I texted back, "Who is this?" No reply. Shrugging, I decided to play along. I walked down my driveway and stood on the curb, looking left and right. The air was unusually cold for a summer night, carrying a strange, faint scent, almost like burnt candles. And then I saw it. Parked directly under that lone streetlight, a car that definitely hadn't been there moments before. It was a sleek black sedan, the kind you see in old movies. It looked classic, almost out of time. One of the back doors was slightly ajar, a silent invitation. The engine was off, no lights were on. It was just waiting. I called out, "Hello, is anyone there?" My voice sounded small in the dead quiet. Nothing, not a sound. A prickle of unease started to crawl up my spine. This felt less like a prank and more like the beginning of a story you tell your friends to scare them. But curiosity is a powerful thing. Against my better judgment, I started walking towards it. Each step felt heavier than the last. The smell of burnt candles grew stronger, almost acrid. I reached the car and peered inside. The interior was pristine. Black leather seats that seemed to swallow the dim light. No one was there. My common sense was screaming at me to turn around, go inside, and lock my door. But the mystery was too compelling. It's just a joke, I told myself, trying to sound convincing. I figured if I just got in, someone would jump out and yell surprise, and we'd all have a laugh. So, I did it. I slid into the driver's seat. The leather was cold against my skin. The moment I was fully inside, the doors locked. A series of heavy metallic clicks echoed in the small space. 1, 2, 3, 4. My heart leaped into my throat. I grabbed the handle. Locked. I tried the other doors. All locked. Panic started to bubble up, and then the engine roared to life on its own. The dashboard lit up, bathing the cabin in a soft, eerie glow. That's when I saw it. Sitting perfectly centered on the passenger seat was a small gift box. It was wrapped in bright red paper with a black ribbon. On the attached tag, my name was written in shaky, spidery handwriting. My hands trembled as I reached for it. The car began to move. Smoothly, silently, it pulled away from the curb. My hands weren't on the wheel. My feet weren't on the pedals. It was driving itself. It glided through the empty streets of my neighborhood. It was surreal. The houses I saw every day looked like cardboard cutouts, their windows like vacant eyes. The world outside flickered past as if I were watching a poorly projected film. The radio crackled on, not to music but to a whisper. A child's voice, soft and chilling, repeating the same two words over and over. "Happy birthday. Happy birthday." My blood ran cold. My blood ran cold. I was trapped in a self-driving nightmare car, being serenaded by a ghost. I squeezed my eyes shut, trying to convince myself this was a dream, a hallucination. When I opened them, I dared to look in the rearview mirror, and my heart stopped. In the back seat, a figure was beginning to form from the shadows. I could just make out a silhouette, its head tilted at an unnatural angle, and the glint of a wide, impossible grin. I couldn't scream. I couldn't move. I was completely frozen in terror. The whispering from the radio slowly morphed, twisting into soft, maniacal laughter that filled the car surrounding me. It was the sound of pure, unhinged glee. A wave of adrenaline finally hit me. I stomped my foot down on the brake pedal with all my might. The car screeched to a halt, throwing me forward against the steering wheel. Silence. The engine was off. The laughter was gone. I was parked in front of my own house again, right where it all started. I whipped my head around to look at the back seat. It was empty. The figure was gone. The gift box on the passenger seat. Gone too. For a second I thought I'd imagined the whole thing. Maybe I'd fallen asleep in my own car. Then my phone buzzed again. One new message. My hand shook as I lifted it. It was a picture of me, sitting in the driver's seat of that same black car. But in the photo, I was smiling a wide, vacant smile. In my eyes, they were solid black. In the corner of the image was a timestamp. Tomorrow's date, 11:59 p.m. My next birthday was already planned. If you enjoyed this descent into madness, make sure to hit that like button, follow our channel, and subscribe to Scary Hours Productions. You never know what's waiting for you in the dark. Thanks for watching.